It's time for Game 2, the Thunderbirds and the Moose in the Calder Cup Finals of Season 5 here in AHL PSN. Hi, everyone. TSibs with you once again. Biggy will be joining me in a little while, and we'll be talking about everything going on with Game 2. Great game last night. If you saw game number 1, just a hell of a finish to that one in overtime, and the Moose are able to pull that game out and take a 1-0 lead in the series. And it was Baron Arctic who had the game-winning goal. We'll talk to him in a second. And, of course, Vibes and Brian big on making that play happen. And so just a great win for the Moose last night. The Thunderbirds played their game, we felt, but just not able to, get the winning goal when they needed it. Played pretty much the way they've been playing all playoff long, not making mistakes, really, and just able to keep things going until they had some opportunities. And certainly they did last night, and a couple they couldn't connect on. Close game all the way, and Springfield finds himself down 1-0. But, they've had that happen to them before, and nothing new for them, and they'll look to bounce back tonight and try and take game number 2. Like I said, we had a chance to talk to Baron Arctic and a little bit about the game last night, about the kinds of things that he's had to go through this season and what it's meant to him to be able to play with Vibes and with Brian, and how much that's changed his outlook for this season and really the outlook of the team. And so let's hear from Bear right now. Baron Arctic joins me here on the pregame show. A big game 1 last night in overtime, and you pick up the winning goal. Before we talk about anything else, let's talk about that play. Again, you guys, I thought, we mentioned it in the postgame last night, that you guys were doing a hell of a job spreading out on offense, the three of you up front, you, Brian, and Vibes, and just knowing where you guys needed to be. Vibes talked about that a little bit. And on that play, again, very similar, where Vibes was helping on the boards, trying to keep the puck in. It seemed like you were waiting and helping out, but waiting for a puck to pop out. You find some room in front, and Brian's there to screen as well. And it just seemed like it was something you guys have done before. Maybe you've worked on it. Talk to me a little bit about what was going through your mind on that play, and is that something you guys work on in practice?
Well, when I saw Brian, when I entered with the puck, I went to the left side, and I knew, when last week, I was playing as a two-way, and I didn't like his speed, so I changed it to a playmaker because I like his speed. So I noticed that when I caught up to this D-man, I could squeeze by him. And Brian noticed what I was going to do, so when I went to the boards and he got the puck, I was just waiting for the puck to pop out. And when the puck didn't come out and it went to Vibes, I was like, it's a 50-50 chance he's getting this puck because he's in a battle now. So when that puck bounced out, I was like, oh, thank God. He got it straight to me. And he told me, he was like, Bear, win this game. And I said, I had my mic muted. I was like, all right. I just shot it, went right in. I was like, I can't believe that. Brian was in a perfect spot. Mm-hmm. He was literally doing what he needed to do. I mean, we basically did a triangle offense. Vibes talked about it. I mean, it's the same thing with basketball. You just got to rotate. It's all about rotation with the puck. It can bounce anywhere, and you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, and we played back the highlight last night from Vibes' feed where he asked you to win it, and about a second later you put it home. It seems like you guys have a lot of good chemistry with this line, but you didn't start out with this line this season. Talk a little bit about what you've been going through this season with line mates and how it got to be that you three now are playing in the finals for a second game tonight.
Well, I first started out with K-Field and Puck Zone. Those are my first two partners, mm-hmm. and they were gone, I think, in the second week. So I was like, all right. We pulled up Arrow. He came up. Then I got Junior DC from a trade, so he landed up on my line, and then they ended up going. So then I went down the shore, and I got a message from Vibes. Hey, we got Brian, and I'm going to be your center. I said, all right. So we were literally just a makeshift line from the beginning, and as you may know, we call ourselves a suicide line because we're not a top line, but I could tell you we really struggled when it came to the very beginning because we didn't know how each other played. But if you notice, we played the top lines in the beginning of every playoff series.
Right.
Like, we played the hardest people, and we really fought hard. And there's that one game that I can always remember was when we played the Monsters and we won 3-1. We all started talking to each other. We're like, we got to play tight defense against these guys because they're real good. And when we won that game, we realized that we're not a joke. And we've only lost games by like 1 goal, and I don't think people realize that we're not a joke. We're in the finals for a reason.
Right.
And I mean, I know Vibes may not be the most skilled person, as he says all the time to us, but he is that garbage goal kind of guy. You give it to him, he's gonna shoot it. If it bounces in front, he's slamming that home. You better believe it. And then Brian's basically our strategist. He's usually calling out plays before it happens. He's usually telling me where to go, and I do it. I'm the dancer, really. I just go in and I do what I need to do. I get the puck where it needs to go, and I've been doing that all season, and I put up a 70-point season, so I've struggled, but you got to fight through it.
Now, Vibes, we talked to him on the weekly show. We talked to him during games, and a lot of people hear Vibes talk about Vibes and about his team, but I want to give somebody else a chance to talk about Vibes, the GM, and Vibes, the player, because last night, I mean, there's multiple Vibes. I think we all know that. The thing is, and I said this in the shop box today, and I think people, I think a few folks didn't think it warranted my comment, but Vibes has been around. He knows not just how to play the game, how to play it the right way, but he knows how to play with people as well. And he's incredibly smart that way. And I called him a crafty veteran because it made like, this is not real hockey, but the principles still apply where you play the game enough, you don't have to go skating frantically from one end to another like we see a lot of guys play this game. He knows, and you guys, I think all three of you know this, and you play it, you know where to be. You're very economical with your movement. You don't go blasting down the ice constantly and then being way out of position. I think Vibes is really good with that, and I think that's one of his strong suits in his game is, he doesn't always go into the corners. He keeps in the middle of the ice, and he keeps himself in better position for you guys for passes and in better position on defense. I think that's one of his stronger, things about his play.
Oh yeah, he's very defensive minded. We're a very defense first line,
right,
as you could see. People have I remember the one game they had over 10 minutes of time of attack, and we were still in the game with them. Like, you could take as many shots as you want.
Right.
If you can't get in on us, then you can't get in on us. And the way he talks to us is usually he'll be like, all right, we got to step it up. Don't let them get past you. Don't let them. And everyone gets in a rowdy mood. Everyone gets panicky. And I come in there and I calm everything down when I'm like, all right, we're fine. And Vibes is like, all right, we got to do this. We got to do that. He's a good leader.
Right.
He knows what he's doing. Like you said, he's a veteran. And I think people need to know that just because Vibes is on the ice doesn't mean he isn't used as a weapon. he one-times pucks,
Right.
He's a gritty person. As a GM, I'm not going to lie, our group is a bunch of hotheads, as you can see in the shout box time to time.
Obviously, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got...
Sure.
I go in there, you got Go Hawks, me.
It's an emotional team for sure, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we like to talk our stuff, So, but what I'll say with this is, I know Vibes was really upset with the forfeit with the Barracuda because no one wanted it to go down that way, and you can tell how great of a GM he was the way he took it, because when you realize it, he he really took it hard because you never want to forfeit a team like that. As
Sure.
good as the Barracuda is,
Yeah.
you never want to do that.
Mm-hmm. And so going into the series and now being up 1-0 on the Thunderbirds, last night's game, Biggs and I talked about it a little bit. The Thunderbirds have been playing this kind of style where they're defensive. They try not to make big mistakes. They try and be in position well. And it really seemed like you guys, or at least your line, and your entire lineup last night played a very similar game. And, the goals I think that got scored were really about, pucks popping open and being available for a good opportunity. And it seemed like you guys kind of play very much the same game last night that the Thunderbirds played.
Oh yes, we clashed pretty well. What I noticed, we clashed pretty well. Like yesterday, we went in there, and what I noticed right off the bat that their defense are like homebound defense. You know what I mean? Like they stay back very well, and they don't really they shoot. Trust me, I noticed this last night.
Yeah.
And I could say this about the Thunderbirds. I think I really do respect that team. I've not talked my shit to them because, come on, who thought the Thunderbirds would make it in, and who thought the Moose would make it in?
Right.
They're two, teams that no one really thought were going to do anything. Everyone thought Moose was all talk. Well, we proved we're not. And everyone didn't think the Thunderbirds would make it, and look at them. They made a great team. They're in the finals with us. I'm not going to talk my shit to them. I'm going to say good game to them because you got to respect the team that's in the finals with you.
Right.
You don't always got to talk your shit. That's why I tell my teammates to calm down if they try to. And I mean, they do. They try not to, at least. Yeah.
You got a very different lineup going tonight against you, but does that change anything about how you guys approach game two?
Not really. I mean, of course we're going to try different because you never want to go in thinking the same thing. I'll do what we did yesterday. No, because then they're going to be ready for it. I knew yesterday was a stronger line we went up against, but are we going to go against this line underestimating them? No, definitely not, because that was their game when they were going up against the Bears, and they underestimated them. So Thunderbirds made them pay.
Listen, Bear, thanks for your time tonight. Good luck in game two, and congrats on that beautiful game-winning goal last night to take game one.
Thank you.
Baron Arctic, the pregame guest here today as we get ready for tonight's game, and joining me via Skype is Biggy Biggs once again for tonight's game, and finally getting a chance to talk to Bear, and you see the interaction from these guys from the Moose in the shout box, and you may think, that guy's got a lot to say. Maybe he should keep his mouth shut. You get a chance to talk to these guys, Biggs, and you find out that they're just trying to play the game. They're just trying to have some fun with it, and this Moose team likes to chirp a lot. But it was very interesting to hear him say that he has so much respect for Springfield that he's just not doing that this time. He really feels like they deserve to be here just like they do. A lot of people think both teams are shocked to be there, and he has a lot of respect for them because they've kind of gone through what the Moose have gone through.
Yeah, they definitely go through tough times. I mean, you have to respect the other team for where they got. There's no luck involved. I mean, there's luck involved, but a team doesn't make it to the finals out of sheer luck. They've
Right.
had to work for where they're getting. And every team who's in the finals is deserved where they are to be there, even if they've had the easiest path. The Thunderbirds weren't the team that we'd expect to come out of that easy division. On top of that East Conference, so you got to give them credit, and they're going to put up a fight, and you got to respect them for that. And the more you respect your opponents, the classier of a guy you are, and that's the kind of people we need in this league anyways.
Right. And, you've had some time to think about how that game ended last night, and really the entire play of the game Anything change in your mind about what you saw on the ice last night? It kind of, like I said to Bear in the pregame, kind of seemed like, they were playing a very similar game that the Thunderbirds were playing. And is that typical game one, not wanting to make the big mistake right away? Or is that just their style, at least for those lines, and, they played how they normally play?
I think coming from the Moose, they played how they needed to play. It's a big win for them, and you're playing a tight game. You're not going to be able to score lots of goals with a lower skilled line. So your aim is a 1-0, a 2-1 win, and they kept the other team from scoring. And although the Thunderbirds did end up popping a goal in, the Moose kept their defense tight, and they pushed it to OT, and they took the opportunity and seized the win. So, I mean, if they can do that same thing again, the Thunderbirds are in serious trouble tonight. This is a must-win game for the Thunderbirds tonight.
So you think at this point, I guess we all kind of feel like after, that line for the Moose winning last night, you feel like, again, like Bear called them the suicide line, maybe they win, but, if they lose, they're going up against one of the top lines. Typically, they've done that all playoff long. They got a big advantage after winning game one, and, I kind of agree with you. I think it may be very much a must-win, but it's interesting. We see a lot of comebacks in these playoff series, and you feel at this point if the Moose can take game number 2, they're going to be in the driver's seat then.
If the Moose take game number 2, there's a high probability of a sweep. But let's put that aside. If they take game number 2, you have to, for the next 4 games, you have to play the Moose's 2 top lines, who both have very lethal weapons on it, and brings a whole new style of game out. Both those lines play different from not only each other, but from this first line that we've seen play. So not only do you have to deal with higher skill players, but you have to deal with a whole new strategy. So it's a tough situation for the Thunderbirds. And maybe they weren't ready for this. The Moose have come out of a much more difficult conference, and they've been grinding it out, 6-7 games every series, where the Thunderbirds haven't really fully been challenged yet. Maybe a little bit by the crunch, but the Moose are going to bring out the best in the Thunderbirds, and if they don't step their game up to what their maximum capabilities are, they won't be able to compete.
The Moose have sent the invite. And the Moose waiting now for the Thunderbirds as we get ready for game number 2. It's always interesting. These first couple of games are always separated with a full day in between. And if you're going to go up against the same line and you're the Thunderbirds, does that give you any advantage to be able to have a whole day to think about playing the same guys again?
You definitely get to watch their plays, so I think it gives them quite the advantage. But I mean, you also have to understand the pressure the Thunderbirds are in. This Moose line is going in pressure free, expecting a loss once again, but will play for the win. So you're hoping the Thunderbirds studied this line and know what to do against them, because if they're not, they didn't do their homework and they're not fully prepared for this game.
Thunderbird. We're still waiting on the Thunderbird to show up, as you can see in the locker room. And again, same lineup as last night. Vibes, Bear, and Brian up front. Devils and Killa on defense, and Arch in goal. Tonight for Springfield, Dirt McGirt. Brubix is in now, and I don't know if was he in the original lineup? I'm trying to. They had Afro Samurai in there, and I don't know if that's the same player or not. I'm assuming it isn't. Schizo is on right wing. Ice Block, and now CJ Skipper on right D for Springfield, and Magan in net. And again, I'm not sure if these guys or the CI Skipper, I'm not sure if these guys are the same players, just with different player names. Always makes it a little confusing.
Are one of these forwards an ECU or both of them?
Yeah, Biggs has been put in now, so he is officially in the lineup now, and I'm assuming that makes him the ECU. So yeah, I think you're right about that. Well,
Is Dirt management, or is he also an ECU? He's got a $0 cap there.
I believe he's management. He's an AGM, and he's in tonight. And that was an expected start for Dirt. So, well, game just underway now. Immediately a stoppage of play, and Springfield dumping it back in after the face-off win. There's Vibes. Going back to what they kind of did last night, flipping it into the net, into the corner. Bear has it now as the Thunderbirds try to get it out. Brian back to the point, tries to get it to Killer for a shot, but he whiffs on it, goes all the way back, and Springfield able to get it in a quick pass out front. And that was a heck of a play. Brubix gets the credit for the goal. And it was a nice play behind the net, a good quick pass out. And that starts the scoring off for Springfield in this one.
I don't want to discredit the offense of the Thunderbirds there, but that was just a major mistake on the defense for the Moose. There's no way no one should be in front of the net like that.
Deep in the zone. Springfield looking to clear it out. Back in. And the Thunderbirds will start out. Puck flipped in over the glass. That'll be out of play. Saw some of this last night too, with some of the tossing it in the corners, trying to change it up a little bit. And nice to see a team do a few different types of things. Both teams did it last night, really.
I will admit that the dump play is effective against weaker defense.
Springfield trying to maneuver. Play settled down a bit now. Offsides there, good opportunity, but Schizo having a little bit of an issue trying to hold on to that puck. Now here comes Brian, backhander. McGon is there, starting in net tonight, and he'll hold on to it. Vibes, again with the tie-up play. Brian able to hold it in, still poke checking after it. And now finally it's pushed forward by the Thunderbird. Puck flipped in by Schizo, and now Killa starts out with the Moose. Passes errant to Bear, and he is able to poke check it, but coming away with it, Springfield. But again, a good intercept in front by Killa. Bear flips one on net. McGon holds. Play a little tentative now as Springfield still with the 1-0 lead. Shot on that, Arch getting some action finally. And he'll hold. Back to the point, good shot. Rebound was there, but a good play by Killa to keep some of the Springfield offensemen off the puck. Now a shot, partially blocked, and Brian able to pick it up and put it home. Brian with the goal on a opportunity there, gets a shot off. The rebound comes right back to him, and he's able to slip it past McGon and ties this game up at 1 each. Got to be very opportunistic in these playoffs, Biggs.
Yep, take any lucky bounce you get, or abuse, or shoot on purpose to get those lucky bounces.
Offsides play now, and Little action there. McConnell trying to maybe push around Vibes a little bit. Springfield controlling. Bass throws it up, intercepted, and now the Moose try and get it in the zone. Will this be icing? No icing on that play. Springfield will come out with it. Maneuver in front, but Vibes is there to stop any play from happening. That one goes off sides. Dirt not able to keep it in. Now again, Springfield driving. Forwards playing well for the Moose on defense. Getting hammered off the puck there by Schizo, and gets a bit of an opportunity there, but not a great wrap attempt. Final minute here in this first. Game tied up at 1. Get the feeling it's going to be a lot of these games. Good quick shot there. And Arch is able to maneuver to his glove side and make the save. Shot is whiffed. 2 seconds left to go. Maybe one more opportunity. Bear cannot get off a good shot. Ooh. And Brian is able to, but the clock was already at 0.
No Mafia man luck right there.
And so this game still remained tied at 1. Both goals, not something that you feel like it was really the goaltender's fault, just some opportunities that fell really into the lap of a couple of players here. But Brian able to follow up off of his shot, and that's what hitting the net does for you. Ties the game at 1.
If the Moose are going to win, I think what they have to keep excelling on is just dirty grinding. You know, they're looking for garbage goals, stuff like that. They might get nice plays that happen, but you're not looking for anything fancy from the Moose. If the Thunderbirds are going to take the victory, I'd expect to see harder forechecking and abuse the defense. We've seen the defense cough up the puck a few times, and I think that's how they're going to score their goals.
Let me get ready for the second period here. Dirt and Vibes on the face-off, and Springfield will start out. Good poke there by Brian to make the play go a little further back. And now they are good intercept by Bear. Flips it in. Vibes chasing. Back and forth there between Vibes and Ice Block, and Vibes persistent, still has the puck. Can't get it back to the point cleanly enough, and now comes back out. Bear knocking the puck around. Still pursuing. Back to the point, but it's going to get cleared out by Schizo, and Devils controls, gets it over to Brian. Nobody in front. Bear just a little slow hitting that play. Vibes up against the boards, but come away with it. Brian looks to take a shot. He gets rifled there by Bask. Comes back on the play, though, and picks up the puck. Under 14 minutes left to go in the second period. Still tied at 1. Springfield back the other way. Good defensive play on the blue line. Back to the point. Bass tries to get a shot off, partially blocked. And now back the other way, Brian. He's got 2 men chasing him. He'll pull up, gets a shot off, but it's blocked there by Ice Block. Gets a helmet exiting the zone, and now the Springfield comes down. Good quick push of the puck in front. Those are the dangerous shots there, Biggs. The goaltender absolutely despises.
Yeah, I don't think any goaltender likes them.
Face-off win. Springfield almost a good opportunity there for Dirt, but he's not able to connect. Now Bear, shot goes wide, partially blocked. Vibes. No one in front. Quickly dumps it out. And now penalty is going to be on Killer for tripping. He's going to go off for 2. First power play of the game. Brian clears. Ice block controlling, puts one on net. Arch picks it up and holds it. Not letting much of a rebound happening on any of the shots so far. Puck cleared out, and Springfield will have to come back. If Arch plays like he did last night again, having another solid goaltender on this Moose team could be a real problem. Good pad save. Puck in front, gets knocked away. Vibes again back on defense, helping out. He comes away with the puck. Flips it up, out of the zone. 10 seconds left on this power play. And a offside looks like there. Stoppage of play, 9 seconds left to go, and the Moose that close to killing this one off. Teams are at even strength. Vibes trying to control. 2 men meet him in back of the net. Gets a little help from Bear. Still puck is behind the net. Good quick flip out front, but the shot is blocked by Devils. And now Killer comes out, gets Bear up on the left. Brian chasing. Nobody in front. Tries a wrap. And now a good quick play in front as Bear follows up. And actually, yeah, they're going to give it to Brian.
Garbage goals, I'm telling you.
I mean, look, this happens in this game, right? And no reason not to take advantage of it.
No, everyone has the same opportunity to take them. So it's there's 2 types of players: those who can set up nice plays and score more often, and those who just abuse the garbage goals, and it's fine. You got to take away those garbage goals opportunities as much as you got to take away the plays.
And following up the play too is also a big benefit. If you're able to do that and you can pick up something that just is out there, that's some good hustle on the play by the forwards to be there in front of the net. Brian gets tripped and ice block's going to go off for 2. Brian with both goals tonight for the Moose as he controls, tries to get it in front. Bear not able to get a stick on it. Offsides again for Springfield. Not really getting the feel for their offense just yet. They've been struggling a little bit in this second. Last minute in the second period. 1 minute left to go on the Moose power play. T-Birds win it back. Vibes able to grab it out of the air. Now trying to set up for the power play. Good defensive play there. Coming back the other way, last couple of seconds. A puck on net, always a good thing. And good play there, coming back to help out on D. Devils able to stop any rebound attempt. Springfield out shooting the Moose 9-4, but it's the Moose up by 1, 2-1 after 2 periods.
The Moose's defense is extremely similar to last night. Really keeping those shots to the outside with the exception of the goal. I mean, everything is low percentage shots for the Thunderbirds. And kudos to them for taking shots, but they got to step up and take slightly higher percentage shots and abuse the rebounds and the screens and the tips.
Still 22 seconds on the power play as you see for the Moose as we start the third period. Bass coming back, tries to flip it out. Gets blocked a bit by Brian. Now Bear is able to block a shot coming out. Vibes flips one on net. Good save by McGon. Himes gets it back. Now Brian back to the point. Good shot on net. How that got through, I have no idea, but McGon is there, prepared for it, makes the save. Good shot by Killa. Springfield starting back the other way. Pass again broken up by Bear. T-Birds. Killa right there to intercept that. Vibes trying to work it out. Good block. Keeping it in the zone. Devils will come out with it. Send it in. That's going to be an icing if they can beat him to it. But no, Brian has it. Back to the point. Another shot. It goes off the defenseman and in the net.
Tipped off a defending player.
And Killa gets credit for the goal. Nice shot. Another good shot from the point. And just getting pucks on net. Good save there by Arch on that play. Springfield now trying to put some pressure on. And Vibes comes the other way. He's got Bear, but he probably will pull up here. Again, trying to flip one short side, but McGon has those. Bear looking to get in front. Had Brian, but Brian could not get a clean shot. There's going to be a tripping penalty now coming up on Bear. And the power play, a very much needed power play for Springfield. Brian tries to flip it out, but kept in. Bass tries to get a shot off. Now flipped out of the zone by the Moose. Springfield moving back in. Dirt, shot on net. Arch makes the save, maybe a little far to his left, but he's still able to get in front of that one and stop it. Vibes doing a lot of tying up on the faceoffs. Devils tries to get it out, gets blocked, but then finally pushes one out. 1 minute left to go in this power play for Springfield. Little trouble picking up the puck there. Now Block gets it up. Schizo back to Block, shot it, hits his own man in front. Thought Dirk got hit with that one. Brubeck tries to do a wrap, but can't. Cleared out. Penalty over. Teams are at even strength as we hit the 11-minute mark here now in the third period. Springfield down by 2, looking for some quick offense. Bask gets the puck knocked off his stick, but still in the Moose zone. Devils tries to get out. He gets cracked by Schizo. Now Dirt. Knocked off by Bear. He's got Brian breaking if he can hit him. He does. Not clear, though. Good defensive play coming back, helping out. Bear tries to get one in front. Good play by Ice Block and Bask to stop that possible break. And icing going to get called on this play. Another tie-up, and Moose able to keep it in. Again, Vibes looking for that short side. Still can't get it. Bear gets crushed off that puck. And looked like Springfield might be able to break, but not able to get it out cleanly. Bask misses Schizo with a pass, and that's going to be not an icing. Under 6 minutes now to go. Moose back the other way. Vibes controlling. Stolen, but unfortunately, Brubeck's offside. As we're almost at the 5-minute mark here in the third period. Gonna need some quick offense, Biggs.
Yeah, the Moose are keeping Thunderbirds in their own zone. Can't cough up defensive goals if you're staying in your own zone.
Now Brubeck tries to snap on a net. Puck is loose. Could not get a clean shot off as Vibes again back helping out. Killa holds on to it. Gets it up to Bear on the left side. Good quick shot on net. Magon covers it up. 3:16 left to go. Expecting a timeout here somewhere. And there it is.
Killa's got to be careful with that puck in front of the net. That's the kind of funky stuff that turns into a turnover and a goal. He got lucky there, and I know he felt confident with it, but you got to really be careful with that. And I know Vibes has called me out about it on the past, too.
Well, a few more shots from the point, I think, for the Moose this game. Certainly has helped them out a little bit. But again, I think both teams still playing very much the same game we saw last night. Face-off, and Bear with a wide-open net could not put the backhander in. And now Springfield starting back the other way. Can't get it cleanly in. Brubex now has it. Slapped out by Killer. And now Vibes looking to toss it in. Brian tried to be onside, but he could not drag a skate enough. Springfield back the other way. Minute left to go in this one. Good quick shot on net. The puck is sitting on the line. And Arch could not get a glove on it, and Bask is able to put it home.
Uh-oh.
And now you wonder if the Moose should call a timeout at this point. They don't. Brian trying to get out of the zone. He does. 40 seconds left to go in the third period, and a offside on that play. Vibes tying up again. Bear trying to control, but he can't. Bass comes in with it. Good flip on net, getting something going, but he's not able to. Clear down by Devils. It's going to be on net. It has to get played. Springfield starting back. Good poke check. Vibes playing well on defense. Gets it up for Bear. 18 seconds left to go in this period. Brubeck's trying. Can't. The puck is cleared out and 5 seconds left to go. Bear's going to get it. And this game is going to be another win for the Moose. Penalty coming up on Springfield, but it's a moot point at this time. It's going to be a Moose victory of 3-2. Good comeback by Springfield. Did not give up in this one. Played hard right to the end. And just not enough to help them out at this point. And the Moose have taken a 2-0 lead in this series, and Vibes probably just looking to steal one with his line. Now he's taking the first two with his line, and he still has what are arguably his first and second lines to play this series.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in management of the T-Birds right now. They got hell right in front of them.
That's going to be an incredibly tough mountain to climb when you have to play all those last two lines. Like I said, I think Vibes would even say, arguably they're 1 and 2, and this couldn't have gone any better for Vibes than it did.
No, he's in a fantastic spot, and the best part is that he's the one that not only put himself in that spot with putting the right lines out, but literally played those games out and put his team in the best spot. So got to give that manager some respect right now. Not that I want to, but
you see Brian's got a pair of goals in this one, an assist. Arch with 13 saves. Not a lot of opportunities for the Moose. As you can see, not a lot of shots on goal, but enough, just enough to get them the victory tonight. Killer, who also had a nice accidental deflection by the defenseman on Springfield, getting a goal in this one as well. And so that gives the Moose the victory in this one. And I tell you what, at this point, you have to say that if the T-Birds can come back and make this, at least make this a series, it would be an interesting, comeback if they're able to do that. They've got the team to do it. They certainly have the talent to be able to do that. I just don't know if at this point, after these two losses, what do they have to do to regroup and get ready?
Good win, though, boys. Good win. Way to do it. Good win. Good win. All right, fellas. Good win.
As you can tell, Vibes just joined us.
the T-Birds are going to come back. They have to realize that not only does every game matter at this point, they got to get back on their, their hype train of their team, and they got to pick up their gameplay because they have the hardest challenge yet ahead of them.
What's up, guys?
Vibes, how you doing, buddy?
All right, not bad, not bad. Did you see that second goal? Was that just total horseshit or what? Like, I mean, is that just EA screwing people, or oh my god, like?
Well, I mean, I think we definitely see that when there are pucks on net and there is a quick toss in front and things start bouncing around, anything can happen, I think on both sides it's all part of whether or not you're being aggressive at the net, and in a way that's what it pays off, I think.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta stay on it. I mean, I don't fault them. I mean, they they did what they had to do and jumping on the puck, trying to poke it in. So good on them. But I mean, shit, just seemed like it could have been goalie interference, could have been a whistle, could have been a lot of things, and just nope, nothing. But anyway, it was it was a good scrappy goal by them. So
you're at this point now where your line has played the first two games and has won the first two games. That's gotta be a nice feeling to know that you can do that, and you're able to still save your other two lines.
As a manager, this would be the managerial version of pulling a royal flush. I've jumped ahead 2-0 in a series.
Right.
I've used my weakest line. I burnt the game off of their top line, and we're up 2-0. If we lose this series, I can walk away saying that I did absolutely everything I could possibly do.
Just sit back and watch, eh?
Go ahead, Biggs.
Yeah. Basically, just sit back and it's out of my hands, and I'm gonna trust my big boys to get it done. I got some big guns on the team, and that's what they're here for. So I'm gonna rely on them, and hopefully they can get it done. I'm going to assume they will be able to, but we'll see. I mean, it's a crazy game, and shit happens. So who knows?
If worse comes to worse and it goes to Game 7, you'll have to throw your line in.
Yeah, I'll have to go back to my line, for the Game 7. No, I mean, it's funny. Before this game, I actually probably did something that I don't think any manager has ever done. My lineup is actually in for all 7 games. It was before Game 2. I actually went ahead and put my entire my lineup in for each and every game for the rest of the series. So should there be a Game 5 or a 6 or a 7, the lineup's already out there.
And your motivation for that was?
You better beat us tonight, because if you don't beat us tonight, now you got to beat my top guns 4 in a row. So good luck.
So, again, talk about some of the play tonight. It wasn't certainly a carbon copy of last night, but
no.
Definitely still some tentative play to start with. And, again, I feel like you guys, again, played sort of that triangle the way you did, maybe a little, not as much as last night, but you still were able to space yourselves out enough to be ready to be available. As soon as somebody had a puck and was heading behind the net, one of you was popping out front in the slot when they could. And certainly a couple of opportunities. I know there was at least one or two, one that I saw Bear where Brian, threw one out front and just missed him where he had plenty of room to put one home. So, again, you guys seem to be working really well as a line.
Yeah, we've been playing well, and we like playing with each other, and we kind of see the game differently, but at the same time we see it the same. And it's been a good line, and we've gone against some really hefty competition so far, and this was probably the biggest break that we've gotten, even though they actually played really good. But it's been working. And, tonight I was kind of just really focused on defense, like super hardcore. And I let Bear and Brian kind of take care of the offense. I told them I was going to take the reins off them a little bit to do their thing against this lineup. and they did pretty well, so it worked out.
I got a question for you for lineups. You
Sure.
said, and this is a similar question I asked you last night, but I'm gonna phrase it a little differently today. You claim that it's still Domi's net. We looked at these 2 past games, and Arch has let in 3 goals on quite a few shots. Pretty damn good save percentage. And not only that, but you have arguably the worst defense on your team in front of him. Now,
arguably.
Well, I'll give. The only reason why I say that is because your line is probably.
Hey, listen, they actually played a really good game tonight. Both defenders did, and heading into the game, I was actually a little bit worried about that. I know we're kind of digressing from what you asked me, but I was a little bit worried about that heading into the game because there was a few practice games heading in where they weren't so good. But this was by far the best game, I think. Well, for sure the best game I've seen Killa play, and probably the best game I've seen NJ play. So hats off to them. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I kind of interrupted you.
Well, I'm just going to make a quick comment on that, too, is I'll agree with that, but that's despite their first goal where both your defenders, I would say...
were not in front of the net. Yeah, I know.
One wasn't in front of the net, and they both went in the corner. Yeah. I made a comment on that, but yes, I agree. They both played well.
We commented on it too. We saw it right away, and they from that point on though they were pretty good.
But back to Domi, not only is Arch playing great, and Arch is back and ready to play, and he had potentially, like I was saying, the worst defense in front of him. You also, as a manager, now I would do things differently. I'm different than you are, but that's fine. You have to deal with Domi being the main reason why if you win this, you only get a 93% Calder Cup. You wouldn't want to take that, small chance to, not need him for more than 1 game this series potentially.
Well, first and foremost, we get 100% of a Calder Cup because rules are rules, and part of winning is showing up on time. If you can't show up on time, you can't win. So we get the full thing. But that's besides the point. The fact is that it is Domi's net, and he's gotten us through 2 Game 7s. He took us through the first round, obviously the second and third round. How do you take a net away from a guy like that? Should he show signs of being in trouble and maybe give away 2 games? Yeah, sure, I can maybe see a switch, but barring that from happening, it's his net, and I'm not gonna deviate from him at this point in the game.
I guess taking it from him also is the potential chance for causing, negative blow-ups in the implosion team.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it really doesn't have anything to do with that, to be honest with you. It's more the fact that he's the guy that's gotten us here. So, that's where I'm different from a lot of people, is I'm not going to just flip to the seemingly hot hand right away, because, I mean, Domi's been good anyway. So, like, to make a change, I just feel like it's a change that doesn't really need to be made right now, so.
And just to put the stat to it, 15 shots this game, 18 the last game, 33 shots on goal, 3 goals against for Arch Mangus, and that's we knew this guy had this talent. We've seen him play incredibly well before. He was playing okay for a little while, but, man, he picked the right time to show up and play just some great hockey these first 2 games.
He's hot, and you look to reasons why we won these first 2 games, and I'm pretty sure the first reason that pops out at you has to be Arch Magus. He's been unreal, and kind of like the contrary argument to what I'm saying, and kind of to support Biggy's argument is, I could definitely see a case for making him the number 1 all of a sudden and giving Domi just maybe 2 games for the rest of the series. But I don't know. I feel like it's been working so far, so it's just not something I'm going to do. Not right now anyway. Domi will have his chance to finish out, and I mean, it's nice to have Arch, and he's played phenomenal these last, not even really 2 games, but the last 3 games. I mean, you look at Game 6 back in the conference finals, and the guy faced like 27 shots, and I think only like 2 or 3 went in. You know, the game went to overtime. He absolutely almost stole that game for us. So he's been phenomenal, you know, and he may have even stole these first 2 games for us. I don't know, like maybe you guys watch it, so I guess you'd have a better idea, you know, if they outplayed us. But I mean, he's been really, really great. So hats off to him, and he's made us just an even stronger team.
Well, Biggs, you can comment on this as well, and Vibes said it a little bit just now, but certainly Killa and Devils tonight, 2 games in a row where they've played incredibly well. Let's not forget, their contribution to this. Not a lot of second opportunities tonight, very few, if any. And again, that's also what makes a goaltender successful is if there are not a lot of follow-up chances.
Yeah, those 2 played very well tonight, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'd say this about myself. They made 1 mistake, and aside from that, they tightened right up, and everything was very solid on their end.
Yeah, as soon as they made that mistake, you know, myself and the 2 forwards, and even them, I mean, we all saw it right away, and it was a glaring mistake. You know, I was caught, so I couldn't be back to help out. Otherwise, I probably would have been there. But I was, I don't know, picking fucking daisies in the offensive zone or something. And you know, they both made a catastrophic mistake of vacating the front of the net, leaving it wide open. And it was an easy tap-in goal, you know, and that's just a defensive breakdown, and that's something our line has not been known for. You know, you can say whatever you want to say about the lack of offensive skill and so on and so forth, but we've always been pretty sound defensively. So once that happened, you know, it was like really it was a shot in the arm, you know what I mean? And then we got kind of a fluky, you know, kind of here you go sort of a goal, and then we were able to put 2 more in, and there was no looking back from there. But from that point on, they were great, both defensemen, especially Killa. Killa, by far, the best game he's ever played, by far. I mean, he was phenomenal. You know, and Devils was really, really good too. So they played great, and I'm proud of both of them.
And that's what you need from a third-line defense. You don't need anything special. You just need solid games and make smart decisions. It's not about making the super plays. It's about making the simple plays and not screwing it up.
I'd agree. Yep, 100%.
Talk about your forwards in this one as well. You know, it was Bear's turn yesterday to be the goal scorer, and today Brian, you know, he was just showing up everywhere, trying to make plays happen, and he, you know, gets credit for a couple of goals tonight, and just again crashing the net when he could, and you know, just a great. You know, forget about the 2 goals. I just think his overall play tonight was spectacular.
Yeah, and he's you know, he's a smart guy. He's a smart player. He's a really vocal guy. You know, he'll give you his opinion. He'll tell you what's going on, what he sees. You know, and we all kind of communicate that way. He's got some skill, and so does Bear. You know, those 2 guys probably carry the skill on the line. But overall, I would say this line in general, including myself and the 2 wingers, because this definitely applies to them. While we may not be the best line on the team, like in terms of skill, in terms of you know, really awesome thumbs, I would say we're probably the smartest line on the team, and the 3 of us probably play the smartest brand of hockey, and that's what works for us, you know, and just staying tight and structured, and try to not break down or have any sort of lapses, and that's pretty much our game. And it worked last night, and it worked tonight.
I can back that up, and what I'd like to use as an example here is your 3rd goal. Although, well, 3rd goal is your game-winning goal, and it really, I think, really represents you guys playing smart, because it kind of, even though, you know, online hockey you don't really show heart, you can show that you guys don't give up on a play, and it was an icing call that you guys won that turned into an offensive attack against a defense that probably wasn't ready, and you guys went full force at it and were fully ready for it, and you just made smart plays. Every time you guys walk into the zone, if you're gonna lose the puck, you don't have the thumbs, so you dump it in, and I'm okay with that. I know that I've made comments about not a big fan of dumping in, and I can see why you are. And it's not to downgrade it, but I mean, if you're going to play the smart way and, utilize your lack of talent, that's fine. That's where you guys are going to excel as a third line. And I don't care if in the shout box people in the end say, when Bear or Brian come up and say, yeah, I've won a Calder Cup, and everyone says, well, you guys have been carried. I mean, the third line does what they have to do. They take the losses when they need to for the teams, and they really come out with the biggest wins.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And unlike previous points, I know that that's a compliment, so I'm going to take that as a compliment because I can tell it is one. Despite the fact you said I have a lack of talent, but because I kind of do agree with you because at the end of the day, you got to learn. Listen, some people are brilliant and they become lawyers. Some people are brilliant and they become mathematicians, and some people become whatever. But the bottom line is the point that I'm trying to make is you need to learn to play to your strengths. And, if reading and grammar and law are not your strengths, then you probably don't want to be a librarian or a fucking English teacher. Maybe math is your thing. Mm-hmm. And the same sort of concept applies to where you need to be able to find your strengths. And we realized, heading into the playoffs that our strength was going to be structured hockey. And that's what we've used to try and win and try and upset teams. And hey, at the end of the day, we're a third line, and my record, me personally, I end up 3-3, I believe, in the playoffs. So for a third liner who's trying to pin himself against the top lines every single night, 3-3 ain't really too bad. So
I don't think you could be 3-3. You've played 8 games total.
No, I don't think I have. I think I'm 3-3.
Oh, you've ECU'd, haven't you?
Yeah. I've ECU'd a few times. Yeah. So I think I'm 3-3.
We'll take a quick look at the stats here, and again, 15-9 shots on goal for Springfield. You see time on attack only off there by 8 seconds in favor of Springfield. Passing, relatively close. Springfield definitely a little more advantage there. Penalties, power play minutes, face-offs won not in favor of Vibes, but didn't matter tonight. It was.
Yeah, I had a tough night on the draw.
Yeah, 23-10 in favor of Springfield. You did a lot of tie-ups. We noticed that.
Yeah, because I was having trouble. I was getting my ass kicked early on, and I started to realize, and actually Brian said it to me, where there were times where Dirt was actually jumping, and he was still winning the face-off somehow. So I didn't check my network performance or whatever the case was, but I was getting my ass handed to me on the face-offs dot. So I had to resort to just trying to scrap out a few tie-up wins, and that's what I ended up doing.
And so now you have a shot to absolutely close it out tomorrow night. Are you thinking that in those terms at all, or how do you approach games 3 and 4?
Right now I'm preparing for a game 7, but I'm hoping that we win it in 4. But I feel like, listen, the Thunderbirds, they fought through an Eastern Conference, and there were some really good teams out there. There was the Marlies and the Crunch and the Bears. So they had some good teams out east. I'm sorry, and they end up being the choice. The ones who advance. So you have to respect the team. The minute that you stop respecting the team is the minute you're going to lose. So they'll have my utmost respect, and I'm prepared. I'm ready to go to a game 5 and a 6 and a 7. But I'm also going to have faith that my big guns will get it closed out tomorrow. But we'll see.
And your guys, I mean, Bear even said that today. He said, look, normally I do a lot of chirping in the box, but I have a lot of respect for what these guys did. Both of us, nobody thought we'd be here. So, I'm keeping quiet. So, despite, other than Go Hawks and Domi, are the rest of the guys on board with not chirping so damn much and maybe just going out there and playing the game and trying to get the victories?
Yeah, and for the most part, and I don't know. Go Hawks. He just, I don't know. He's we've tried to send him to a psychiatrist, to a neurologist to see what the hell's wrong with him. Have his brain cut open and see what's going on in there. But I guess at the end of the day, he's just who he is. But the rest of us will certainly be respecting them. And you know what? If they sting us with 2 losses here, maybe Go Hawks and Domi will start fucking respecting them too. Because if you think it can't happen, you're out of your mind. We were up, we were down 2-0 to the Barracuda, and it ended up going in our favor. So if you think that can't happen for 1 second, you're out of your mind. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know what else I could possibly do as a manager, as a player. I've put this team in the best possible position. So, just go out there and get it done. They got to beat my, you got to beat my absolute best 4 out of 5. So, good fucking luck.
And so you've got your lineup out there ready for tomorrow and for both games.
I could actually, I could actually tell them the lineups for the rest of the series. Tomorrow you got Timmy at 9:30, and then you got Go Hawks coming at 10:30. 5 and 6 you'll have Timmy at 9:30, then Go Hawks at 10:30. And for Game 7, well, I think we all know who's coming out for Game 7. Should we ever get to that?
Vibes' line.
Yeah. Well. You know what? I would usually shoot that down immediately. But if this goes really, really bad, maybe.
Sure.
It could possibly. God forbid, but maybe.
Yeah, if you lose 3 out of the next 4, it could be tough.
If it goes to Game 7, what you should be doing is getting your team to practice against your line.
Right.
Because you guys play very similar to how the T-Birds play.
Yeah, that and getting a plane ticket to go visit each and every one of my players and shoot them in the fucking mouth. But that's besides the point.
All right, Biggs, any last comments about tonight's game before we get out of here?
About tonight's game, well, the T-Birds got to pick up the slack. They got 2 games that are potential losses, and tonight wasn't a game that they wanted to lose, but they're in this situation. So this is where, the heart from the team that we've seen so much, and, the managers are passionate and their players are all connecting.
Right.
Let's see this Thunderbird connection come out. Let's hope for 1 or 2 wins tomorrow night.
All right, Vibes. Well, congrats again on the victory tonight, and best of luck tomorrow with 3 and 4. We'll talk to you, I'm sure, after the game, one way or another. We'll speak to you.
I'm sure I'll be around. And just real quick to any T-Birds who may be watching, it's only 2-0. The series is not over, as Al the Walls just said. You just got to beat my best players for 4 games out of 5. So good luck.
All right, Vibes, again, as usual, thanks. And Biggs, I'm assuming we're going to see you tomorrow night, I think.
Yep, I'll be around.
All right. That's it for us tonight here on the AHL PSN podcast. Again, thanks to Vibes and to Biggs for showing up and helping me out here on the post-game show. You've been watching the AHL PSN Calder Cup Finals right here on the YouTube channel and LeagueGaming.com. Thanks for joining us, and we will have Game 3 tomorrow night. Springfield, Manitoba, Thunderbirds, and Moose go at it for Games 3 and 4 tomorrow night. Until then, this is TSibs saying so long.